Hey coin lovers! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the world of UK 20 pence coins. While they might seem like everyday change, some of these coins can be worth big money, up to $2,500. Let's uncover the top 8 most expensive and ultra-rare ones. Let me know if you'd like any changes. First, let's talk a bit about the 20 pence coin itself. The 20 pence coin was introduced into UK currency in 1982, replacing the old 10 shilling note. At first glance, you might think, this coin looks pretty standard. And you'd be right, kind of. While the design might seem basic, there are some key errors and variations that make certain years of the 20 pence coin extremely valuable. But before we get to those rare finds, let's take a look at the history. The UK 20 pence coin was designed by William Gardner and features a modernised image of the UK's royal arms. Over the years, it's been issued in various designs, but certain years have a few twists, errors, limited mintage, or even changes in the design that make them ultra-rare and highly sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about the first of the big-ticket coins. The 1982 UK 20 pence coin is a standout in the world of numismatics, and it's easy to see why. This coin isn't just valuable for its design, it's worth a fortune because of a rare mintage error. You see, when the 20 pence was first released in 1982, it was intended to be minted in copper-nickel alloy. However, a few of the initial coins were mistakenly made using cupro-nickel, which was quickly phased out. This error led to a small batch of cupro-nickel coins being released into circulation. And that's where things get interesting. For the most part, these initial cupro-nickel coins were melted down and replaced, but some made it into the wild. Now, these few coins, with that distinctive cupro-nickel composition, have become incredibly valuable. In fact, finding one in good condition can easily fetch up to $2,500 or even more at auction. But why exactly are collectors so excited about this? Well, the rarity factor is key. The mintage error was never officially acknowledged for a long time, which meant most people had no idea that these coins even existed. It wasn't until collectors started noticing the slight difference in metal composition that the buzz began to spread. What makes it even more interesting is that these coins were circulated like regular 20 pence pieces. So, a large number of them ended up getting worn down, damaged, or even lost. That's why finding one in mint condition today is like striking gold. Most of the cupro-nickel 1982 coins that are out there are in poor condition, making the well-preserved examples even more highly prized. You might be wondering, why is a small, everyday coin worth so much? Well, when it comes to rare coins, the metal composition or minting error can make a world of difference. And in the case of the 1982 UK 20 pence, it's that mix of historical error and scarcity that has made it such a hot-ticket item in the coin collecting world. Top 2. Now let's talk about the 1983 UK 20 pence coin, which might not be the rarest of the bunch, but it's still one that gets collectors buzzing. Why? Well, the real draw here is its scarcity. Although the 1983 coin wasn't produced in the tiny numbers you might expect from some ultra-rare coins, it still has a relatively low mintage, especially when compared to the regular circulation numbers of other years. In fact, only about 4.5 million of these coins were minted, which isn't all that many when you consider that most other years of the 20 pence coin have higher production numbers. And because the 1983 coins were released into circulation during a time when coins were still being actively used on the streets and in transactions, many of them have been heavily circulated and worn down over the years. So, when you think about it, even though there's a fair number of 1,983 coins out there, not all of them are still around in great shape. If you happen to come across a 1983 UK 20 pence coin in excellent condition, you're holding onto something pretty special. Collectors love these coins, and finding one without any noticeable wear and tear, with all the details still sharp and clear, is something that could land you up to $1,000. And we're talking about a coin that's nearly 40 years old now, so that's pretty impressive for a small, everyday piece of change that was once tossed into pocket change jars or vending machines. Why does the condition matter so much? Well, with the relatively low mintage and the fact that most 1983 coins were used in daily transactions, any coin that remains unscathed by time and well-preserved becomes a treasure. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it is, and that's why collectors will go above and beyond to track down these high-quality examples. In fact, a coin that has stayed in mint condition or almost uncirculated could end up fetching you that $1,000 price tag, or even higher depending on the market and the level of demand at the time of sale. Another thing to keep in mind is the age of these coins. While 1983 might not seem like that long ago, for a coin that was actively used in the UK for years, it's getting to the point where fewer and fewer examples are still around in great condition. Coins get passed around, tossed into pockets, dropped, and thrown into the washer, and when they're in circulation for decades, the wear really takes a toll. So, if you have a 1983 UK 20 pence coin that somehow survived all that, consider yourself lucky. It's a nice little piece of British history. So while it might not be as rare as some other years, the 1983 UK 20 pence coin still holds significant value for its scarcity and condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's a coin you definitely want to keep an eye out for. And if you do happen to find one in excellent shape, remember, you might be holding onto a little piece of British numismatic gold. Let's move on to the 1989 UK 20 pence coin, and here's one that might just surprise you. While this coin doesn't always catch the attention of casual collectors, it's got something special that makes it stand out: a major mintage error. If you're not a seasoned numismatist, you might not even realize that some of these 1989 coins are worth far more than face value, but when you dig into the details, you'll quickly see why this particular year is highly sought after. So, what makes the 1989 20 pence coin so valuable? It all comes down to a design error that occurred during the minting process. Normally, coins of this era feature the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, that's the front side of the coin. However, a small number of 1,989 coins were mistakenly struck with the incorrect version of her portrait, an earlier design that wasn't supposed to appear on this particular coin. This wasn't just any minor error. The incorrect portrait actually dates back to the earlier 1980s design, and it's significantly different from the updated one that was supposed to appear in 1989. Essentially, some of these coins were minted with an older effigy of the Queen, which wasn't intended for that particular year. The mistake didn't affect the entire mintage, but it did affect a handful of them. The result? A small batch of misstruck coins that, over time, became incredibly valuable to collectors who specialize in error coins. Why does this matter so much to collectors? Well, as with any rare mintage error, the scarcity of these misstruck coins is what drives up their value. Coins with incorrect designs are inherently rare because, once the error was realized, the mint would have taken action to fix it quickly, ensuring that no further coins with the wrong portrait were made. So, the misstruck 1989 coins are far fewer in number than those with the correct design. And here's the kicker: condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. A coin that's in mint or near mint condition can be incredibly valuable, especially if it has been well preserved over the years. You might be looking at a value of $1,200 for a 1989 20 pence coin in pristine condition. That's no small amount of money for a coin that originally only had a face value of 20 pence. Now, while not every 1989 UK 20 pence coin features the error, collectors often pay a premium for those that do, especially when they're in good shape. These coins are sometimes harder to find than you might think, and their status as error coins only adds to their appeal. That makes them a hot commodity among numismatists and coin enthusiasts. If you're lucky enough to have one of these 1989 misstruck 20 pence coins in your collection, you might be sitting on a valuable piece of British coinage history. Keep an eye on the condition of the coin. It's not just the rarity that makes it valuable. The better the condition, the higher the price it could command in the market. Next, let's talk about the 1993 UK 20 pence coin, which has quietly become a standout in the world of coin collecting. At first glance, it might not seem like much, but there's one key reason this coin has become so valuable: its limited mintage. In fact, only about 3.6 million of these coins were minted that year, making it one of the rarer 20 pence coins in circulation. Why does that matter so much? Well, when it comes to coins, mintage is everything. The fewer coins that are produced, the more valuable they tend to become. So, while the mintage number for the 1993 20 pence coin isn't as small as some of the ultra-rare coins we've talked about earlier, 3.6 million is still a relatively low number when it comes to regular circulating coins. In fact, many years of the 20 pence coin saw far higher production numbers, so this coin is actually a bit of an anomaly. But here's the kicker: while the mintage is small, most of the 1993 coins that have been in circulation over the years have seen their fair share of wear and tear. After all, this coin is over 30 years old now, and during its time in circulation, it's likely been dropped, scratched, and tossed into pockets and vending machines countless times. That means, when you come across one of these coins today, it's not often in pristine condition. So, if you happen to find a 1993 UK 20 pence coin that's still in mint condition, you've stumbled upon something that could be worth a pretty penny. In excellent, uncirculated condition, a 1993 20 pence coin can fetch you around $1,000 or possibly even more, depending on the demand in the market at the time. This might seem like a lot for a coin that originally had a face value of just 20 pence, but in the world of numismatics, the rarity and condition of a coin are what truly determine its value. The 1993 20 pence is a great example of that. When it comes to condition, collectors are looking for coins that are as close to mint state as possible. The better the quality, the higher the price it can demand. That means, if you find a 1993 coin that has no visible scratches, marks, or signs of wear, it's a real gem. Coins with sharp edges, clear designs, and minimal blemishes will always hold a higher value. While the 1993 20 pence coin might not have the same level of excitement surrounding it as the coins with major minting errors, it's still a highly sought-after piece due to its scarcity. The fact that only a relatively small number were produced, combined with the age of the coin, makes it a popular target for collectors who are looking to complete their collections or find something rare and special. So, if you're sorting through your change and come across a 1993 UK 20 pence coin that looks like it's barely been touched by time, it might just be worth more than you think. With its limited mintage and high demand, it could easily fetch around $1,000 or more if it's in top-notch condition. Next up, we have the 2000 UK 20 pence coin, a coin that's particularly interesting for several reasons. First off, it marks the turn of the millennium, and any coin that is tied to a significant point in time always carries a bit of extra intrigue. But it's not just the year that makes this coin special, it's also about the design and the limited mintage. For a coin issued at the start of a new century, this one's actually rarer than you might think. To understand why this coin is valuable, we need to take a closer look at the changes that came with it. The Royal Mint made a few design shifts as they ushered in the new millennium, and while these changes weren't drastically different, they still made the 2020 pence coin stand out from earlier issues. This subtle change in design wasn't the only factor contributing to its value, though. The mintage was also significantly lower than in other years. While many coins are struck in large numbers to meet demand, only a limited number of 2020 pence coins were produced. As a result, fewer of these coins are available on the market today, which naturally drives up their value. If you manage to get your hands on one of these coins, especially in pristine condition, you could be looking at a coin worth $1,100 or more, and in some cases, even higher. But the condition isn't the only thing that determines the value of the 2020 pence. There are also a few error varieties that collectors pay top dollar for. While not every coin from this year contains a minting error, a small batch of them did. Unlike with most error coins, these are the ones that collectors covet the most. So, what kind of errors are we talking about? Well, in some cases, there were misstrikes or incorrectly aligned designs that make certain 2000 coins even more desirable. If you happen to find a 2020 pence coin that shows any sort of unusual feature, be it a slightly misaligned design, doubling, or other minting mistakes, those could increase the coin's value significantly. The key is that these errors are very subtle and hard to spot unless you know what you're looking for. But once you find one of these, the value jumps considerably. So, if you're out and about and you happen to stumble across one of these coins, it's always worth giving it a good look to see if there's any sign of a mistake in the design. Even if there's no error, a well-preserved coin can still fetch a high price. A mint state or uncirculated 2020 pence can bring in $1,100 or more, especially if it's part of a collector's set. The combination of its Millennium connection, the design updates, and its relative rarity makes this coin a must-have for serious collectors. So, whether you're a dedicated numismatist or a casual coin enthusiast, don't overlook the 2000 UK 20 pence coin. With its limited mintage and potential for rare errors, it's definitely a coin that could be worth far more than its original value. Moving on, we have the 2003 UK 20 pence coin, which might not immediately jump out as one of the most iconic in the series, but there's definitely more to it than meets the eye. The 2003 coin isn't one that's usually the first to be mentioned when people talk about rare or valuable coins, but there's a reason it's worth paying attention to, and that reason is low mintage. When it comes to coin collecting, one of the most important factors that can affect a coin's value is how many were produced. Coins that are minted in small numbers often become more sought after as time goes on, especially when they're harder to find in good condition. And that's exactly what we have with the 2003 20 pence coin. Only around 5.5 million of these coins were minted, which is relatively low when you compare it to other years in the series. Now, 5.5 million might sound like a lot, but in the world of coin collecting, it's actually a pretty small number. Many of the coins that are produced for circulation end up being used, worn, and sometimes lost over the years, making them even harder to find in excellent condition. When you combine that small mintage number with the fact that most of these coins have probably seen a lot of wear and tear, it's easy to see why 2003 20 pence coins in mint condition are so valuable. If you're lucky enough to find a 2003 UK 20 pence coin that's been kept in pristine condition or has barely been circulated, it could easily fetch you around $900. That's pretty impressive for a coin that originally only had a face value of 20 pence. It's a reminder that in the world of numismatics, the condition and rarity of a coin often play a bigger role in determining its price than anything else. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are in mint state. That means the coin should show no signs of wear, no scratches, and no fading of the design. If you manage to find a 2003 20 pence in uncirculated condition, you're in luck, as these coins are becoming harder and harder to come by in perfect shape. Over time, the more circulated coins lose their shine, and the details begin to fade, which only makes the pristine examples more desirable. In addition to its low mintage, this coin has a bit of a historical context that makes it interesting for collectors. The 2003 UK 20 pence was minted in a time when the UK was transitioning through several important political and economic changes, which gives the coin a certain charm for those interested in British history. While this isn't necessarily the driving factor behind its value, it's another reason why the coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. So, if you happen to come across a 2003 UK 20 pence coin, don't be too quick to dismiss it just because it doesn't have the same buzz as some of the other rarer years. Moving on to the 2004 UK 20 pence coin, we've got another one that might not catch the eye of every casual collector, but for those who know their stuff, this coin definitely holds some hidden value. At first glance, it may seem like just another 20 pence, but there's a couple of key reasons why the 2004 coin stands out in the numismatic world. One of the main reasons for its value? Low mintage. When we talk about rarity in coin collecting, it often comes down to how many of a particular coin were made in any given year. In 2004, only about 5.5 million of these 20 pence coins were produced. That's not a huge number when you compare it to some years that saw much higher mintage figures. Now, 5.5 million might sound like a decent amount of coins, but when you factor in the age of the coin and how many of them have been worn out over time, it's easy to see why the 2004 20 pence has become a rarity in good condition. So, why does the 2004 coin have value beyond its low mintage? Well, part of it comes down to the design itself. The 20 pence coin features a relatively smooth, clean design, no overly complicated elements or intricate details, just a simple, sleek look. But, over time, coins with this kind of straightforward design have a certain appeal to collectors who appreciate that minimalist aesthetic. However, the true reason collectors are drawn to this coin is not just its design, it's that rarity factor. Coins from years with lower mintage, especially those that were in active circulation and used in day-to-day transactions, often become harder to find in great condition as time passes. Most of the 2004 20 pence coins you'll find today are likely to have some sort of wear or damage, whether that's from being carried around in pockets, dropped, or simply circulated heavily over the years. But here's the exciting part: if you've got a 2004 UK 20 pence coin in mint condition or near perfect shape, you could be holding on to a coin worth $800 or more. That's a pretty hefty return when you consider the coin's original value was just 20 pence. This coin's worth skyrockets because it's both scarce and in relatively low supply on the market in top condition, which naturally drives up demand. Why does condition matter so much? In the world of coin collecting, the finer details make all the difference. A coin that's seen little to no wear, with sharp, clean edges and a pristine design, is considered uncirculated, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for it. It's one of the reasons why even coins with a relatively low mintage can be worth so much more than their face value. Collectors who are after coins with specific characteristics, whether it's a clean design, low mintage, or both, often turn their attention to these lesser-known years, like the 2004 UK 20 pence coin. For many, it's all about finding those hidden gems that aren't as well known, and this particular coin certainly fits that bill. If you happen to find a 2004 UK 20 pence coin that's been well taken care of and looks like it was just minted yesterday, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of currency. With a value of around $800 for one in mint condition, this coin is definitely worth keeping an eye out for, whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to get into numismatics. Last, but certainly not least, we've got the 2006 UK 20 pence coin. While it might not have the same level of hype as some of the more era-ridden or low mintage coins we've talked about earlier, it still holds its own in terms of value, especially if you know where to look. The 2006 coin might not have been minted in the smallest numbers, but there's still something special about it that makes it worth a closer look. So, what makes the 2006 20 pence coin valuable? Well, a lot of it comes down to the limited run during that particular year. Not every year produces coins that are destined to be future collectors' items, but certain years, like 2006, are relatively rare in terms of availability today. The coin wasn't produced in huge quantities, and while it's not the rarest of the bunch, its place in the early 21st century collection is a key factor in its value. It's important to note that the 2006 20 pence coin wasn't necessarily minted in the smallest numbers compared to other coins we've talked about, but what adds to its value is the condition in which it's found. Just like with most coins, those that have been well preserved are far more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. If you manage to find a 2006 UK 20 pence coin that's in good shape, you could be looking at a value of around $600, especially if it's part of a collection of early 21st century British coins. Coins from this time period have become particularly desirable to collectors who are focused on building a complete set of British coins from the start of the new millennium. Even if the 2006 20 pence doesn't have the major mintage errors or ultra-low production numbers of some other years, its role in the broader picture of modern British coinage is enough to make it a standout piece for collectors. So, if you have one of these coins in your collection and it's in great condition, it could easily be worth $600 or more. In short, the 2006 20 pence coin may not be the flashiest or the rarest, but its place in the modern British coin series makes it a valuable piece for those looking to complete their collection of early 21st century coins. So, there you have it, the top 8 most expensive and ultra-rare UK 20 pence coins. It's amazing how something as small as a coin can carry so much history and value, especially when you know what to look for. Whether it's a rare minting error or a limited run, these coins prove that sometimes good things come in small packages. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to keep up with all things numismatic. Got a rare coin you want to share with us? Drop a comment below, and let's chat about it. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your collections always be full of surprises.